Welcome to this week's edition of Acadiana Outdoors. Welcome to this week's edition of Acadiana Outdoors. Stay tuned for the next 30 minutes as your host, Byron Briggs and Nikki Dejan, bring you up to date on what's happening in the outdoor world. Whether we're fishing for big bass, chasing boss gobblers, or after that elusive Boone and Crockett buck. Stay tuned for an outdoor adventure you won't forget. And here's your host, Byron Briggs.
You got the speak on?
Yep. Okay, well today we're at Lake Yucatan up at Newellton, Louisiana. Now Nikki, we're fixing to go sac-a-lait fishing today.
Right, we're going in a place called the Blue Hole, I
Yeah.
understand. How big are the sac-a-lait?
About like that. And right behind us is Lake Yucatan. And of course, with the river rising like it is, it's all muddy and the river's up, what, 20 more feet, I think, Nikki?
That river's not muddy.
Yeah, it's muddy. No, this is a lake. The river's over there.
Oh,
Mississippi
okay,
River's
yeah,
right
you're
there.
Right. This is Lake Yucatan.
Right, and right across the woods right there is Mississippi, and of course the river separates Louisiana from Mississippi. So we're right on, it's an oxbow lake that we're on right here. We're fixing to go fish a lake off of the Mississippi, which is a few miles away. What you got, Nick?
You like my hat?
Man, I like your hat. Where'd you get that hat?
Kenny Baginal gave it to me from St. Landry Bank.
Uh-huh.
Actually, Robert gave me one before. This is my second one.
You got two?
I beat you out of one.
All right. Well, look, you ready to go? And we're going to see if we can't put the boat in the water.
Right.
And David McCann's going to come with us again. We're up at David's camp today. And David's going to come sac-a-lait fishing if he ever shows up.
I hope our poles are big enough to haul those sac-a-lait in.
Yeah, we're going to fish them pretty deep or what?
I don't know, Byron. You're the expert.
No, I'm not an expert. But let's go on to the lake and try and get the boat in the water. And try and do a little sac-a-lait fishing today.
Right. It's beautiful up here. Huh?
Isn't it pretty?
God, let's get after it.
I mean, that's the difference between North Louisiana and South Louisiana.
Right.
All right. You want to break for a commercial?
Break for a commercial.
I think we're in the Blue Hole now.
Tell you what, Byron,
Pretty place, isn't it?
it's gorgeous. I hear Rich Gresham fishes this place
Yeah.
all the time.
Sure does.
And for those that don't know, he's an outdoor writer for Southern Outdoors and all those other magazines, Field and Stream.
We got with us today, Nick, and we got Chris.
Chris Birdsey's with us, famous editor from the Opelousas Daily World and Louisiana Sportsman and a couple other magazines.
Game and Fish.
Yep.
And of course, Chris is going to be our guide today. And what's David?
David McCann is the host. He's also the, I guess, the speaker for the Going to the Outdoors radio show up in here in North Louisiana, our North Louisiana correspondent, right?
That's right, Nicky. Well, all right, Nick, what you got there, buddy?
First one of the day, Byron.
Yeah?
Little sac-a-lait. Hanging right off the little treetop. That's not a bad one.
No?
Open that box up.
All right. What you got, Nick?
Byron, we're getting close to the lip on sac-a-lait here. It's not bad, huh?
It's not a bad sac-a-lait, let me see. No. Huh.
No, I like that. Take those all day.
Up about, huh? We're gonna, oh yeah, Nick. We're gonna go ahead and, how many you think we're gonna catch?
100,
100? No, really.
500.
Okay. Show us a jig you have, Nicky. And also, we want to look at that slip cork you have.
Well, open that box real quick.
All right. I got the fish.
All right.
Let me put him in here, and I want you to show us what kind of rig we're fishing with today.
This is a Blakemore jig. You can see it?
Yeah.
It's got a rattling head in it,
Uh-huh.
and it's got just a
Wait,
regular,
hold still.
regular little tube skirt on it.
All right.
You can see I've used it a lot.
Yeah.
All the paint's about wore off.
Okay.
And then
Show us how that cork works, Nicky.
just like that,
All right. In other words, when you get it hung up,
you just slide it right down
slide
at the
it
end.
right on down, and you don't have to break your line and all that
Nothing.
commotion.
That's right.
Who showed you that?
Wayne Ordway?
Wayne's the one that did that, huh?
Yep. Wayne
Good.
gave us our first bag of slip sink, slip
Yeah. And all you're doing right now, Nick, is just dropping that jig down and
Yeah.
moving that pole a little bit, huh?
And you know, I got picked him up close to the bank, Bob.
You did.
Which was kind of amazing, huh?
It's true.
For this time of year.
Boy, I like your hat, Nick.
You do, you.
Let me see. Hold it a second. Oh, yeah.
That's our new hat, compliments of David McCann, our North Louisiana correspondent.
Oh, yeah. That looks good, too. I
Good.
tell you what, you don't look the same.
I know, I don't look like the same person.
No. Last week they went 9 pounds.
Really? And you just missed that little one, huh?
First cast.
I'll be darned. Well, let's rig up again.
All right.
Bye. Bye.
What you think, Nick?
It's a long, slender
Exactly.
saccalate.
Where is
Huh?
Where is it?
Look,
There he is.
it's called a garra fish. I thought there was a saccalate in that hole right there.
Well, I saw your corks thing, huh?
I know. You want to get out the boat. Doggone. Boy, I knew that was Didn't you think he was there?
Chris. Chris? Slow down.
Chris, you made it?
That's a big old buffalo or something in it.
Wait, Nick.
Golly. Big old cypress trout.
It's a big one, David.
It's a big one.
Oh. All right, Nick. Nick, you'll come gum it, Nick. Wait, David, bring him around here.
I'm trying. He's pulling pretty hard.
You see that? Boy, I'm telling you what, he's pulling, huh, David?
I mean, he's a good one. He weighs easy 7 pounds.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Barry
Yeah.
got him hooked too. Hooked in him good, but it's not.
Fine, I'm just going to throw this rod in the water. It's already hooked.
All right. Nick, don't do that.
Time out, and then I'm going to get. You got it hooked good.
Is he hooked good?
Yeah, keep playing back and forth.
Look how big that one is. Gum him, Nick. Put your finger in his mouth.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a pretty fish.
Let's see what.
You tickled it.
I must have. That hook's still in him pretty good. You know, I didn't think it was hooked in him good, but it was.
Is that right?
You want him out?
Bring him on out.
Don't put your finger in his mouth. I was just kidding,
Hold it
Nick.
on.
Those mudfish have big teeth.
Yeah, we'll see what.
7.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Let me turn the camera like this so I can see it. All right.
Well, Bon, you know it's going to come out on
Crooked.
Well, I got to turn it sideways to get the whole fish.
I mean, crooked.
You ready?
Well, you gonna let him go, Dickie?
No, put him in the boat. Let's keep him.
All right, hold this right
You got another one over here? This is what Byron left for us, wasn't
here. What do you want?
You got another one, David?
I got another one.
Hold it
Running
now.
good.
All right, Nick, what you got there?
Well, just a magnitude eagle depth finder, but the new ones show smoother bottom. It's got a menu that you go to, range,
Yeah.
auto set,
Is that fish right
fish
there?
ID on, not yet. S fish, 23 feet. See that? Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh,
There's a lot of
I
structure
see
down
it
there now, David.
Yeah. Move your arm, Nick. You may be able to see it. All right, now I can see it. Yeah, okay, Nick, I see him now. Now, Nicky, does that really help you a lot? That would catch a lot of fish or what?
Well, what it does, it helped me find sunken trees.
Now we're gonna go in, dig a little breather, and we're gonna come on back.
Yeah, we just had to break off the excitement of getting out here, but we're gonna really fish this afternoon.
All right. Well, David, that was a nice fish you caught there, buddy.
It was a nice cypress trout. What do you call them in South Louisiana?
We call them a cypress trout, right, Nick?
Mudfish.
Mudfish.
Yeah.
He weighed about 7 pounds.
Hey,
Yeah.
you want me to put you out way?
Oh, go on, let's go to the truck.
All right.
What do you think about this blue hole?
Oh, it's a beautiful place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Really
a,
is.
it's a good place to fish, and with the river being up as high as it's been, it's probably the worst time to want to really catch a lot of fish. But
Is that right?
yeah, when the river's in it and starting to rise, fish usually go to the deeper water and usually just kind of suspend and not do anything.
Right.
But as soon as the river will crest and start to fall a little bit, these fish will go to biting.
Well, I tell you what, it really is a beautiful place here that you have,
It is beautiful.
and we're gonna give them another try this afternoon.
We'll try them a little later, maybe it'll cool off some.
Sounds good. Let's go cool off ourselves right now.
Let's go to the camp.
Go into the camp.
Go on to the
What you got, Nick?
Got a bass in the bottom.
Oh, he's a little one?
Yeah. Oh, he threw it.
You threw it?
Yep, you saw that?
Yeah. What do you think they're gonna pick up, Nick?
He's getting right now.
It's true.
There he is. Whoop,
You missed him?
missed him. Stay in there, Barb.
Yeah.
Let me get back in there.
All right.
What you got there, Barb?
Huh?
What is it?
Back here. I don't know what I got, Nick.
It's a little bass.
Yeah, another little bass. Boy, this thing got some bass, doesn't it?
I mean, it's full of them.
Let me see here, Nick.
Hurry.
All right, now.
Good shot, Barb.
All right, Nick. Hey, Nick.
You got him, Barb?
Man, do I have him? Watch here. Here he comes.
Nice fish there,
Oh,
Barb.
I'm telling you, huh? That's a nice one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah? It's a nice little fish.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have something to eat anyway, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You know, we turn most of them back, we will keep a couple to eat. But, Nicky, I caught him on that worm.
Tequila Sunrise?
Yeah, tequila sunrise worm with a Texas rig, so.
Nigga, that back seat you got?
Huh.
Tell you what,
It's a good thing I have these front seats to prop my feet on. I'd have to hang my legs down.
look how tall that seat is.
I mean, look.
I know.
It's comfortable, though, Bob.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long day, Nick. But fishing hasn't been that good, but we caught a few.
We did.
Maybe we can pick up a couple of more before we shut this one down.
Right. So, don't you lose him.
I'm not. Boy, he's a good one.
Let me
Boy, he's
get,
pulling drag, Nick. I know he's gonna go about 4 or 5. Oh yeah, look, Nick, can you see him?
yeah. Don't lose him.
Ah, he got off. But that one got off, Nick.
Well, did you sharpen your hook with your Lansky hook sharpener?
No.
Well, dadgummit, Byron. Let's try again. Scarfish.
All right, Nick.
What you got, Byron?
I got this one jigging here right next to the boat. Wait, here he comes.
It's a nice one, ain't it?
Yeah. All right. Now, that's a nice fish.
Yeah.
You know, these fish fight a lot, Nicky. These fish come out of that river,
Yeah.
and they fight a lot more than a pond fish, you know? One that comes out of a pond because they fight so much, you know? We're gonna let this one go just like we did yesterday. We'll let that other one go so I can get him out of there. There we go. Look.
Nice fish.
Yeah. Go on back there, buddy. Yeah. Well, let's see if we can catch one more.
Island.
Oh, look at here, Nicky. Oh, no. Where we at?
We're in Lake Yucatan, Byron. We headed out to go sac-a-lait fishing. We just got a report that the stripers are running and that the sac-a-lait are averaging 2 pounds. And we're just gonna make a quick little run around. The fish are up against this duckweed. We're gonna go up a little bit just to kind of look around, see what it looks like in here.
All right, come on, go back and pick up David now, Chris.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, I think so. Davis Camp right there. And there's Chris Birdseye and David McCann. Yeah. How y'all doing? All right, that's White Perch up in North Louisiana.
Oh, you know where to go?
Hey, Chris. Oh, who's your guy today? Huh?
They said in the well of trees where the duckweed started. He also said there's a lady and a man over here catching them up against this bank in the duckweed. I think the key is 4 to 6 feet. That's the key.
Water? We're going to follow you since you got the depth finder.
4 to 6 feet deep.
I need this here, 4 feet.
It's 56 feet here.
A lot of water.
All the fish on the bottom.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
So we're going back up in there?
Yeah, we're going in there.
That's a good place to get lost back up in here. Now, Nicky, if we get lost back in here, where do we end up? Where do we end up? Because all this is flooded timber. Go ahead and follow him now. We don't want us to get lost back in here. First thing is we don't know where we are and we don't know where we're going.
That's two of the worst things.
Oh, it's pretty back in here though. Yeah, Nicky, I tell you what. Let's just be careful, make sure we don't get
Now, let me tell you, this is where bass hang out too, Bob.
Are you gonna follow him? Yeah, I see him way up there. flooded back here. Now the river's out this banks right now. We're back in this flooded wood timberland here. The river, like I said a while ago, is out this banks and it's 17 feet deep up in here. We're gonna try and catch some sac-a-lait back in here.
They under there.
You think so? There's not a snake in that tree, huh? No.
Tell you what, it's full of fish under there.
Nick, how deep is it here?
7:14.7.
Well, Chris, you ready to catch some sac-a-lait, Chris?
Get 'em.
You missed it.
Yeah, it's
They
a
said
crappie
they're
right over
fishing
here,
them 4 to 6
Byron.
feet deep.
Oh,
They call it crappie over here, remember?
But now listen, this is what they were fishing
Okay.
in. And there's plenty of fish under here. Look.
All right, so you think we're about where they were talking about?
Yeah, see?
All right.
They were jigging straight down? How deep down?
4 to 6 feet.
They weren't jigging either, were they?
No, they were using
They
shiners.
were straight lining them too.
So we need to come on with a silver type jig, white
That's what
jig,
I just told Byron that.
red and white maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see what the old jig box says today. We've got hair on this side, and we've got rubber on this side. What would you like, Byron, rubber or hair?
No, I think I'm gonna go with some hair. Chris, how y'all doing over there? I had one nibble, that was all so far. No? None yet, Nick.
No, but they down. There's fish down there.
Mississippi. That's the nuclear reactor stack. That's cooling it. Stack or whatever they call it. That's it, the cooling tower. We're gonna run upriver a little ways, a few miles, and I'm gonna show you a place that we like to hunt called the Middle Ground.
You think we're gonna slow down a little bit?
Just hold on. We gotta stay on top of these big weights. Of course, right now it's real smooth. They're not carrying a big weight. Everything's okay here. The river's really calm right now to be as high as it is. notice over here to your right, these hills of Mississippi. Of course, that is the state of Mississippi. And there's some real big cliffs here. You know, they're over 150 feet high. And that is one that you're looking at now, Byron.
Yeah, I can see that. That's some big hills out here, though.
Few in the mornings, right at daylight, looking out over the river.
Beautiful over here. Now, David, one side is this over here to the left is Louisiana, and right over here to the right is all Mississippi.
That's right. Behind you, the camera, which is to your back, is Louisiana. Yeah. And then back toward the east is the Mississippi side.
That's amazing, the big hills they have on this side of the river.
It really is.
Yeah, now I'm way up on that hill up there, David.
Isn't that a beautiful place? I'd love to be there at daylight every morning in duck season, watching every one of these ducks fly down the heart of the Mississippi. Because when you hunt the Mississippi River, naturally you're in the heart of the flyaway.
Well, we just got out of the river. Now we're going back into a slough that goes back into Lake Yucatan. David, this is really beautiful back here. This is really beautiful.
Byron, this is a pretty place. You know, we've talked earlier about it in the show, showed some footage of the river. This is the little chute that runs back from the river into Lake Yucatan, which is, you know, about what do you think, a couple of miles long maybe?
Right.
And then it runs into the end of Yucatan, which, you know, virtually that's what stocks any river lake is the river. And this is where all the fish come through from the river into the lake. Of course,
that's why they call it an oxbow lake.
That's right. An oxbow is kind of a horseshoe shape. Yucatan used to be the Mississippi River. And then, of course, when the river changed courses back in the 1800s, Yucatan was more or less kind of cut off, and the river diverted itself another way. Though the Mississippi still rises and falls, Yucatan rises and falls right along with it because they're still connected by this one chute.
It really is beautiful out here, though.
And
they got all kind of game. It's full of deer back here, duck hunting. You have everything back here.
That's right. Anytime you're inside the levee on the Mississippi River part, it's a lot of game back in this part of the country. I just missed a curve, so I hope we don't hit anything. I think we're going to be okay. All right, now we're back in the chute. But it's just a lot of game, Byron. You and I are going to get to hunt down here a good bit this year, and hopefully we'll kill some game, ducks, squirrels, and maybe a deer or two.
Well, I'm sure looking forward to it. I promise you that. I know our viewers are.
Tell you, this morning we went out behind the camp, and we've got some soybeans planted there. We saw some deer, saw a nice buck. Their horns are really growing right now, and hopefully we'll have some, plentiful game to hunt this fall and winter.
Well, David, I want to tell you, we really appreciate you, the hospitality and all what you do for us all the time, and of course, co-hosting the show up on the North Louisiana, and a number of our viewers really appreciate it, and of course I do too, and Nikki does, and Chris does.
Well, I sure appreciate you letting me come on the show and help you, and anytime I can be of service to you, that I definitely will.
Well, great, David. So I will let you close the show this week.
Okay. Well, that wraps it up for this week. I'm David McCann for the Acadiana Outdoor Show.
We hope everyone has enjoyed this week's edition of the Acadiana Outdoor Show. Remember, whether you're on the water or in the woods, the role you play as a sportsman is how others see it. We hope everyone's next outdoor adventure is a good one, and don't forget, if you kill or catch something, that's a bonus. Until next week, I'm David McCann for Byron Briggs and the Acadiana Outdoor Show. Keep on. Welcome to this week's edition of Acadiana Outdoors. Stay tuned for the next 30 minutes as your host, Byron Briggs and Nikki Dejan, bring you up to date on what's happening in the outdoor world. Whether we're fishing for big bass, chasing boss gobblers, or after that elusive Boone and Crockett buck. Stay tuned for an outdoor adventure you won't forget. And here's your host, Byron Briggs.
Welcome to Acadiana Outdoor Show. Chris, appreciate you coming by and getting
Thank
this
you,
week,
Brian.
buddy. We really do. Chris, our show today is going to be on a two-part show. At the beginning of the summertime, Becky and I went up to Euffalke, Alabama. Went up there to Tom Mann. I know a number of our viewers have seen Tom Mann on TV. He's a professional bass fisherman, and he has Tom Mann lures.
The famous jelly worm.
Right. And we went up there and we shot a little footage up there for our viewers, and then when we come back, we're going to go to Gum Cove down at Lake Charles and show a fishing trip with Dr. Lionel Mayer. And so let's go on up to
Lake Euffalke.
Lake Euffalke, Alabama, and then we'll come back and go to Lake Charles.
Okay, man.
All right. Resort State Park in Alabama, and we're just getting here this morning. It's about 10 o'clock this morning, and we're fixing to go meet Mary and Jerry Royal, and this is the...
Oh, I'm not aware of this. Do you know, when I went down there, I was never interested in fishing, so I probably couldn't tell you. I don't know. What are y'all planning on doing? Are y'all here, what kind of...
Now that's there's a catfish right
Those are
there.
albinos. Look at these. All kinds
Oh,
of
okay. Well, you got some brim in there, don't you?
Yeah, there's some nice brim in there. There's some huge bass that's swimming
Oh,
around.
is that right?
Oh yeah, I know they're rare.
Right.
And I had a fella just kind of help them for me.
Uh-huh.
And when he'd get up to a bunch of them, he'd bring them out here.
Isn't that something?
But there's lots of them here. If the windows was clear, you could see them wailing out. But it just that dumped a bunch of mud in here on them. When the hyacinth starts blooming now, it'll just suck that mud right out and clear it up. As you know, they kind of, they can't see well, and they feed more on smell than anything else. They hatch it, and you see a lot of baby ones before long. They come all around the windows. Who's left today has sent them back.
What's the biggest bass you have in here, Mr. Man?
About 11 pounds.
Is that right?
We got several in that 7 here. Now there's a 500,000 gallons of this one. And inside now I got one that's the biggest one now.
You know, we have a lot of Indian mounds back home.
I must find Indian out there. I don't know my life.
Is that right?
Yesterday we brought in 2 5-gallon buckets of bluegills and little crappie. They ate every one.
Is that right?
Yeah, they just ate
Look
every
at
one.
look at the,
Yeah, you'll see them that come through the windows here. That's some of the big ones coming through.
look at that. Now, how big is this one right here?
That's one of the little man. There's 3 of them right there. They're so fat. See how thick they are on the heads of them?
Look at
I
that.
guess them. Look down in here. There goes another one of the big ones. You can go way down through
Oh,
there.
yeah, okay.
Show you some unique. I got some different kinds of bass in here. See if I can spot them.
Right.
They're real aggressive. They'll just strike everything. We got some big turtles in there. We sold those minutes and they kind of made it up yesterday. Chased them. We don't have a lot of people. Yeah, the water coming through, that's going through it all the time. That's a spring. It's fed by spring. That's another one. Shoal bag. Now, he came out of muddy water. But he's already started turning now. He'll change the color of this water. For them phase two. But we figured the parasites and all, get ready to put.
You mount? Oh, somebody had already mounted that
Yeah,
fish.
I ain't gonna hold that. That had to go back because it's plaster Paris mount. I bet you that was mounted in the 30s.
Is that right?
Yeah, this is up. You need to go this one. Look at that. They need so much today. You can. Lord, look, they 2 5-gallon buckets. Of what? Race car for 17 years. And he was supposed to get out of the road about two all around. And I still got a lot of stuff I had to pull up here. I mean, expand the museum. One day I got enough to fill up one, pack back, you know, place like that. Version of it here. But this was on the Tallapoosa River. And the horseshoe, you know, that made horseshoe leaves. And I brought it, put it back like it was.
Yes.
And it's an old country store, and they had old country merchandise. I know y'all still got it.
Oh yeah, we still got those.
And I had two old rocking chairs, and then you just had the back of stage, so they don't get up with the board.
You know,
Only two more in the United States that I know of, I believe. One's left in Texas. And, this one and the one in Hank Williams wrote about over Elijah, they destroyed it over to Elijah Beach. Abandoned still there. So there's only two of these left.
when was this made?
Oh, in fact, it's way, way, way back. This one was probably in the 30s because this was old Pontiac. And this one had been sitting on the porch 30 years when I bought it with one porch.
You talking about Pontiac automobiles? And really? So this,
That's what it was.
that's Pontiac.
And this one is in real rough shape. And I bought it from a lady for $250. And we came in and painted it back with it.
So it's all wood carved?
It's ceramic.
Ceramic?
It's heavy, real heavy.
That is.
Perfect. Sitting on the Indians card there. And we're just selling the tapes on them right now. This and there we play on Green Acres. Jimmy Carter's been here twice. Bobby Knight's been here several times. Asked Dolly when she's 26 years old.
Tell you what, she still looks good, huh?
Asked Hank Jr. when he's 19. I started carrying him when he's 16.
That's Hank Jr.
And that's Ray Price. Bear Bryant out of being with him 2 weeks before he died.
Is that right?
Governor George Blows. His astronauts. See what Buzzy wrote me here? He says the trip was great, but the fishing was lousy. I moved forward in here, and that was my first big hit to Little George. It sold 20 million.
So 20 million Little Georges.
And of course, my jelly worms get into the hundreds of millions. But lure, this was in the top 5 selling lures in the world by Popular Mechanics right here. So and it still sells.
I know.
But they're carved out of wood and plexiglass. That's what I was afraid.
This is a new lure you just came out with, that's so long ago?
Since that, no, it's really been out since '86, but it's still
right?
selling big in a lot of places. No more eagles buzz than that. This is a unique area, it's down in the type stuff, and that's what they make horns around. Just a little bitty bow in there. And it's a poison darts, very poison. And they even blow them through canes. You can see them blowing through canes. This is an elephant's intestines.
That's what they used it, that's how they...
But they're very accurate with these little things blowing them through a cane too. They shoot monkeys and stuff out of trees with them, animals to eat. Run up, throw this in the ground. That's what this is. That's either where they're gonna shoot you or make peace.
Mr. Mann, I really appreciate you showing us around. I can't tell you how much. And of course, we want all our viewers to know that if they do decide to buy some baits, Mann Baits Company has excellent baits. I use them all the time, and I have a bunch of them in my box. And just try to use them, and we really appreciate you showing us around.
Keep fishing, we appreciate it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Chris, I know everybody enjoyed that trip up to Alabama, but we didn't catch that many fish, but we thought our viewers would like to see some of the scenery.
Lake's
up there.
beautiful.
It is, absolutely beautiful up there. And now we're ready to go down to Lake Charles.
It's your platinum ID.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
right. Tom Mann was the guy that came out with
Hummingbird.
Hummingbird. So a lot of people have Hummingbird depth finders.
I recently went on a trip with Dr. Lionel Mayer down to Gum Cove. Roger Corner down there. You know Roger?
Yeah.
We went down there and made a fishing trip. And it was a fishing trip. But we had a little footage that we wanted to throw in there. They also have excellent duck hunting, and they can lease goose blinds by the day. So we thought we'd like to bring this to them before hunting season starts so that they could get an idea if they go down there. Now's the time to book, though.
Now, I've hunted in that area,
It's fabulous.
and I can tell you geese,
Yeah,
geese, geese, and more geese.
I know. Let's go to Gum Cove, then we'll come on back, and I got a great picture to show this week. Yeah, of course, we have Brett with us today, down to Gum Cove, down in Hackberry, Louisiana.
That's right. Glad to have y'all down.
Well, we really appreciate it. We're fixing to go bass fishing in a little while, and I kind of wanted to briefly tell our viewers something. I wanted you to explain something to our viewers on on Gum Cove.
Lakes of Gum Cove.
Lakes of Gum Cove.
Yeah. Well, on
You
Lakes
have
of-
fishing and hunting.
Right. Lakes of Gum Cove is a membership. The fishing is a corporate membership type setup where you have 3 options that you can get to buy membership and fish the lakes. We have about 180 acres of stock Florida bass lakes, producing some real good bass. We've had fish up to 13 pounds caught this year.
What you think our chances are catching a 5 or 6 pounder today, right?
Well, I think they're pretty good. Of course, that's fishing. You can't
Yeah.
ever guarantee it.
Well, I tell you what, I got a good fisherman today with us. I want you to know that. Dr. Mayer is a super fisherman.
Well, that's what we need. a good
Yeah.
fisherman.
He's lying.
Roger, okay, so you have your corporate memberships, and with the corporate membership, that's entitles you to come out here and fish. And it is a trophy lake, is that correct?
Right. It's strictly catch and release. Our objective out here is to try and grow some quality fish, a place where you can come out and have a chance to catch that trophy of a lifetime, and also catch some numbers. It's a lake that is really going to be coming on in the next few years. The lake is about 7 years old, and it's just now really coming into its own. It's coming around, and with the big fish being produced, it's proving it. You're starting to see what the
quality of the fish,
management
yeah.
can do for a lake like that, and the owners.
Mr. Tony?
Mr. Tony Palermo, Mr. Joe Palermo have really done a good job setting this thing up. They've spent a lot of time and a lot of money getting it right. It was a dream that they had a long time ago, and they just kept working at it, and they've pretty much accomplished it.
I tell you what, you have a beautiful place here, and of course, if anybody's interested in knowing how to be a corporate member in order to fish here, I want to say one thing about it. You just can't come fishing out here and pay to come fishing.
No.
You have to be a corporate member.
Right. It is a membership only.
And y'all have 12 members right now.
No, we have 18 members.
18 members?
And we're going to close out at 30 members.
Is that right?
When we get 30, we shut it
Okay.
down.
Well, we're going to go out there in a few minutes and do a little fishing. And let's briefly talk about your duck and goose hunting.
Well, this year is going to be the first year that this lodge is going to be available to hunt commercially. We're going to open it up for duck and goose hunting, which is both the duck and goose hunting is great in this area. Gum Cove is known for having good hunting. His goose hunting here is second to none.
Well, I can tell you what, Dr. Mayer, you remember the other day when we came hunting on the other end, all the geese, all the speckled bellies we saw on the road out here?
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yes, that's right.
There really is some real good hunting. We're going to be offering some hunting in the marsh and also some field hunting for ducks and geese, in the fields. But it's going to be, we're going to hunt the duck season and all of the goose season. We're going to try and get some teal hunting in if the teal cooperate. If they come in here and pack in, for the
You'll have that.
season, we're going to have that also.
Roger, give them the number here if they are interested in making a duck hunt down here or a goose hunt or a teal hunt.
Okay, if they're interested, they can call the Palermo office at 318-625-3330, or they can call me at area code 318-598-2950.
And you know, we do also want to remind our viewers if they do want to set up a hunt with a friend or whatever to come down to your lodge or whatever, now's the time to start booking your teal hunts, your duck hunts, your goose hunts at this time of the year, because later on in the year, a lot of people don't realize it, but all of a sudden it's all booked.
That's it. It's here. And
So
what we're looking at is we're going to try and book 10 people a day, no more than that, because we want to try and offer some quality hunts.
yeah.
We figure, you know, with 10 people a day, that's enough where, you know, there's not anybody crowded. You're not over hunting your blinds. You can rotate your blinds that way, and to fill up a lodge like this with 10 people a day, I think is going to go relatively quick.
That's great. Well, listen, Roger, I want to thank you, but even before we go, you and Mr. Tony for letting us come on out and to make a fishing trip, and we're going to go out there in just a few minutes. And
give them a shot.
And I want to show our viewers the big speckle belly that they got there.
Yeah, that's a nice
Dr. Ben, you know, that's the kind of you like.
Yeah, that's the one I shot last fall, I believe.
Is that right? It kind of looks like it, huh?
Personally, I like the one on the other wall over there, the one that's solid black.
Yeah.
You don't see a whole bunch of them that's solid. You know, that black. It's that's an old bird. He's made a lot of trips down here.
It's true. I haven't seen him.
No, this is a very
Show that
unusual
speck up there,
right here.
Right behind you.
Show, you see that his black bars, what they call the sergeant bars, they're all blending into one solid mass of black, which is extremely unusual.
And that's an old bird.
This is he's a very old bird.
That's good. And this one here, you can tell that this one here, it doesn't have, look, Brad, come on this one here. This one here doesn't have the bars as much as the other one.
He's barred up, but he doesn't have it as solid as that other one. He's just about completely black over there.
Yeah.
That's a mark of an older bird.
Well, good. But Roger, I tell you what, we appreciate it, and we're gonna go on out to the lake and get our rod and reels ready. We're gonna be ready to try and catch some fish.
We'll try and crank in a good one.
You think, what's our chances?
Well, I don't know. I always like going out there because you never know. You know, one cast. I had a man with me last week through first cast with a topwater bait, landed a 9-pounder.
Is that right? Well, I tell you what, thank goodness I had of course, all of our viewers know that I had my surgery, and I've been out, and I've had David McCann, I've had Chris Burzai and Nikki DeJones fill in while I was there, and I was out for 4 or 5 weeks on the show, and thank goodness for Dr. Mayer. I'm up. Oh, he got me back going. I tell you what. Oh, I'm looking good. I tell you what, this is gonna be a good fishing trip. Let's go on out there.
All right.
And all the boats under that shed. Boy, look at the boats.
Nice rig.
Talk about, aren't they though? Huh, Roger?
Yeah.
It's all 20-foot aluminum boats.
All 20-footers.
And
some 12, 24 trolling motors.
really?
Just real comfortable. A lot of carpet in there. You know,
Yeah.
Just real nice boat. Got these winches is what I like. See this winch?
Yeah.
You
Oh yeah. Okay.
It goes either way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Boy, that's neat to put in the water.
Copper nose, and the brim, and bluegill, stuff like that. A goggle eye goes out. Catfish goes out.
Goggle eye catfish goes out.
Garfish, anything, any kind of trash fish like that, they get them out. White perch, because they eat the eggs. You see, they feed on your bass eggs, and it's competition for. Look at that bass right there. You see him?
Yeah.
See him?
Nice
Where?
sized bass.
Look at him right there.
Pound and a half. See him, Byron?
No, sir.
Well, he went into the
shade. Watch, I'm finna show you. Let me get inside there. I'll show you.
Isn't that water pretty long?
It's beautiful.
Show you a trick. Here's the trick.
Right here. And there's an 80-acre lake across, right? What's the depth of this lake, Roger?
In the canals, it's about 12, 15 foot. Out the middle, it's not quite as deep. It's about 7 foot, I guess, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Now, Roger, is that dying?
Okay, Byron, here's a nice sized bass right here. You see him? It looks like about a 2.5, 3 pounder.
Oh, yeah, look
He's
at
going into the shadows right now.
Watch here. I'm gonna show y'all some fish. See him right there? So watch here. This is what Brian's. Come on. Watch them look first. Look, coming from the shadows. Look.
Isn't that something?
Look at that bass.
Oh, yeah.
See that bass right there? Know what he's doing, huh? He don't want no bread up there.
No, he wants those big brims.
Look at that. See him in there? Can you pick that up?
Oh, yeah.
Over here might be a little clearer. Look.
Yeah, well, look at it. They got that one, huh?
When that boat in that first stall length there, you can see him real clear. I mean, that ball of water. Get up
Look at that nice brim. Y'all ever fish brim out here, Roger?
Yeah, you can fish all the brim you want.
And catch all you want, huh?
Well, it's catch and release. You know, that's the
Yeah.
forge. That's look at them coming.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
That's what you feed.
the rule still holds
For the brim, too.
also.
Look at them ball in the water. Look. Look at 'em.
Oh, look at
look
that.
at the food. And any biologist will tell you that the secret to growing big bass is that right there.
Look at that big old
proper
brim right
food?
there.
It is a forage, yeah. The right. Now look all the babies. That shows you how healthy the fish are in here. And there's a lot of people trying to grow these bass, and they wish they could have a stock of brim like that. A
Look at the brim.
That's what grows your bass right there. If a
Right
bass
there.
ain't got food, he ain't gonna grow.
Look at the size. huh?
Look at them coming, man.
Dr. May, you think you'd have a chance to catch it with those brim right there or what?
I'll tell you what, though, you better have some bread if you want it. A perch.
Boy, look how big he is.
He wants him a perch.
That's a bass.
Yeah, watch it. Watch him go for one. Come on. He ain't seen one go in front of him yet. They pretty, them bass in here.
Look how pretty he is, huh?
Wait till you catch
How much is that
little
bass?
shad. Oh, he just a couple of pounds, pound 3/4.
Sure looks bigger than that to me, huh, Brad?
Yeah, but I was waiting for one of them big boys. They got fish here, 8, 9 pounds in here.
What you talking about, anyway, though? A good trip. Catch on them hog hunters, huh, Rich?
Yeah, buddy. When that guy caught that 9 the other day,
Yeah.
man, I immediately went to my box and started looking for one. I had two. I got 2 of them in there, but the hook's been pulled out of
Yeah.
them. So I was out of luck. I didn't have one to fish with.
Boy, they are, aren't they? Yeah, look at that rod bend just to try and get this fish.
Yeah. You grab him by the lower lip, Roger.
Try not to hammer too much. We'll try and get it back in the water.
You want to ease him in the water.
Fish, man, a slow start. You want to catch the big fish.
Oh, really? No.
That's on the first page. Fishing book, man. Book you read, instruction manual.
Yeah. See?
Don't see anything.
All right, well, just hold on a second.
Okay, I see something in the top right.
Just stand by and record.
Okay, well, while we're going from one spot, why don't you tell us a little bit about this lake, Byron?
Well, I can tell you one thing. It sure is a nice place to fish. And we really what we're doing right now is we're trying to catch trophy fish. Roger, what about you were putting color in the water? Tell me about that.
Well, what that is a product called aqua shade.
Aqua shade?
Is to color the water. The water's so clear that the sun rays are able to just shine down to the grass. It to shade that water, the grass would grow to meet the sun. And have grass on the surface, so they put that aqua shade in here to actually retard the growth of the grass. It's a blue color. When it comes out of the jug, it's a color of, say, like a bubblegum snow cone, you know, how blue that is? That's the color it is, real dark blue. And as you can see, it makes the water real pretty, you know, besides shading sun rays.
Dr. May, I've only caught those 2 fish. I'm trying to catch another one right now.
Yeah, but those were too small ones, Brian. We'll call those.
Okay.
At least we won't show
We're not going to
two
show
small ones on the tape.
No, we're going to cut those 2 small ones out. Try and catch a 7, 8. Now, they caught a 13-pound out here. So I think that's about what we're after right now.
That 13-pounder was just recently?
About 2.5 weeks ago? Yeah. Well, he's still in here somewhere. He was released? Everything's released.
This little area right here, because this place usually holds a lot of fish.
Roger, they had a full moon last night.
Yeah, that high pressure's not helping this.
You still on, Roger?
Grass is coming to me now.
Yeah.
Thought I had some.
Thought you had something.
Well, no, he did. He wrapped it around the grass.
That grass was what bit you.
What it was, he grabbed it and he run around it.
Yeah. Well, at least you caught one, Roger.
Yeah, boy, I thought I had something.
I'm telling you.
I said to look, I had grass, not fish.
Uh-huh.
Felt like a lot.
It's a nice fish, huh? No?
Yeah, much. Another little small.
Uh-huh.
That's a good
Well, that's a
sign. They
fish.
might-
Now
they might
we
be
tired,
deciding-
Roger.
They might be deciding to
Yeah.
turn it on a little bit.
Let's hope so, huh? Dr. Mayor, you saw those doves flying around a while ago, gliding like that?
Okay, Brian, we've been observing those doves flying low, passing overhead, and we've been watching the way they fly, the flight pattern, and you've been telling me that those doves glide.
They glide like that in the
Sometimes.
summertime. They do. They glide in the summertime like that. Pull their wings and glide. Now, in the wintertime, they won't glide like that. Most of the time, they're gliding because they're going to the nest. And a lot of people see a dove and they don't realize it's a dove. Isn't that right, Roger?
That's the first time I've seen a dove do that. That dove looked more like a hawk than a dove, really.
Right. That's right. Tell you what, if we can get a picture of one in a minute, we're going to try.
All right.
Good, and it doesn't have any memory.
Yeah.
You know, if you kick it or something,
Right.
it says straighten right back out.
I think the 12-pound is equal to an 80-pound test line.
Huh. He said it was gonna be that was gonna make a 20 that would be like 6 pounds.
Right.
That's what I'm interested in.
That dove?
See him?
I see him, yeah, but he's too far off. He's gone into the sun.
Is that about a 4-footer?
It is like in the water like that.
Well, you judge the length of his from his nose to his eyeballs, and whatever that is in inches
That's how many feet he is?
is the length of the alligator in feet.
Brad, you want to come up here?
Yeah, they have a rope to here. We can drag that boat across there.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what, Joe.
Pick that motor up.
not?
Well, the theory is just common sense. If they're not biting in this pond, they sure aren't biting in this pond. I mean, that's obvious. You don't have to be a professional bass fisherman.
Roger?
Common sense will tell you that.
Okay. Let's see it, Roger.
Oh, it slipped out of my hand.
What? Yeah. Get him, huh? Where is he?
He's right there.
There we go. Can you see it, La?
Yeah,
Huh? It's almost too dark to see it.
I got him.
You got him? He's a little one, though. We're going to put some big ones on there, Roger. All right?
All right, throw him out.
Ah, there you go.
Okay, take him off the camera. That's enough.
No. I got to see this one.
Oh,
There he is. All right. This week we have only one picture this week, and it's a picture from Gulf Shores, Alabama, and Michelle Perkins. You know Michelle.
Oh, sure.
And she went on the Sea
Spook.
#2, and she went on a red snapper fishing trip, and they all called their limit at 7.
She had some fun.
Oh, she had a blast, and we appreciate Michelle letting us show this picture. Look at those big old snappers, huh?
I'm telling you.
Huh? Boy, that's pretty, ain't it?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, Chris, well, that's all our pictures we have this week. What else you got on the agenda? You know, we got hunting season right around the corner. In another 2 weeks, we're going to have it.
It's time to get ready. Take a gander.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Scout for doves.
It's true.
For deer, look for bachelor groups.
Yeah.
It's time.
I know. You know, Chris, as hot as it has been the last few weeks, we want to remind all our viewers to go out and make sure that you have fresh water for your dogs. Make sure when you get ready, start working with your dogs now before hunting season kicks off, because you can't just leave them in a pen and take them out.
You also for tree stand safety, check your wooden stands. Make sure they're in good shape. You don't want to go up on an early morning, October 1st, and fall 20 feet down.
That's true. So we hope everybody enjoyed this week's show, and next week we're going to have a dove hunting show. It's right before dove season, and we want to show a little footage on that. We're going to be talking about dove hunting.
Wing shooting.
Wing shooting, Chris. Well, good. We hope everybody enjoyed this week's show, and make sure you stay tuned, and we'll see you out on Outdoors.
Dejan bring you up to date on what's happening in the outdoor world. Whether we're fishing for big bass, chasing boss gobblers, or after that elusive Boone and Crockett buck, stay tuned for an outdoor adventure you won't forget. And here's your host, Byron Briggs.
Welcome to Acadiana Outdoor. Today I have one of my co-hosts, David McCann. David, thank you for coming by.
Byron, nice to be here.
David's from up at Delhi, Louisiana, and of course all of our viewers see him all the time. He's good enough to help us out up on the north end, and we really appreciate it, David. I want you to know that.
Well, I know, Byron, you need some help sometimes.
That's
the workload is kind of hectic,
Yeah.
especially when you try to do a show every week.
Right. And, a lot of people don't realize what's entailed to do a show every week.
That's correct.
Once a month is, unless you're doing this full time. And we do it to have fun.
Now, I tell you, we do, 48 shows a year?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of shows.
Yeah. Well, last year we did more than that, though.
Really?
Yeah, because we had a bunch of double headers,
That's right. We sure did.
David, we have dove season coming up, and there's a few things I want to talk to our viewers before we headed out to off of Sycamore Point. on a saltwater fishing trip, and then we have a little bit of Dave's gun shop. But let's briefly talk about Primo's cars.
Okay.
I know Primo's has been around for a number of years, and you can buy them at Carrier's Sporting Good or Dave's Gun Shop. But I mean, tell us about. I know you're on the Primo's team like I am, but I mean, tell us a little bit about it briefly.
Well, Primo started about 14, 15 years ago as a turkey call manufacturer. He was an avid duck hunter and turkey hunter, and he decided to make his own calls, so it's just kind of progressed from there.
That's great.
And of course, you know, they're into the hunting video end also.
Right.
And they've got the new whitetail video just being released this month, Whitetail Sensation.
We have a deal that we're going to show a portion of that on there.
That's right. Ronnie Jolly sent us a little clip, and I think the viewers really like it.
Oh, they're going to love that show coming up, but we're going to show that in September. And also, we have Mossy Oak. Carrier's also handles Mossy Oak over there. And Mossy Oak is one of our sponsors, and we're good enough
Mossy Oak's really stood behind us.
You talk about, huh? And it's good material, and it's a good product, and we wouldn't be behind it if it wouldn't be there.
And you know, Mossy Oak sure helps us get that game in close.
It's true. I'm telling you what, like you with the turkey and with the duck hunting, I mean, you can get them right on in. David, let's talk briefly about the doves. I know a number of birds have been seen up on our end of the parish and North Louisiana. What does it look like up there?
North Louisiana's looking good. I think the better part of the hunting is going to be later in the season, toward the second and even third split. Naturally, the first split is always so hot.
It is.
And the birds are there, and the birds like the hot weather, but it's you can't ever tell what's going to happen. That's right in the middle of hurricane season.
I know.
You know, a storm could move through and mess the whole first part of the season
Right,
up.
and you know, a lot of people go out and they can locate the birds 2 or 3 weeks in advance, and they go that day, and if it rains, they'll move out.
Exactly. You know, those doves are just real susceptible to a front.
It's true. Well, good. Well, look, let's go on. Chris Berzar, Frank Seminole, Rayford Trosclair, and Rodney Mayu went out on a saltwater fishing trip out of Sycamore Point. We want to show our viewers that, and then we're going to come on back, and then we're going to go make a little trip over to Dave's Gun Shop and try and get ready for hunting season. So let's go on out to Sycamore Point.
Sycamore Point, we're there.
There we go.
It's about 150 boats out here, so
They may be biting, right, Rodney?
some of us gonna catch,
Well, that's good. We're gonna have some action today.
and we'll give it a shot.
All right.
We're gonna try it.
Rodney, we ready? Aboard the Rebel 2.
Wait for Frank.
What you think, Rayfield?
I think we're ready, my man.
We're ready, huh? Franklin!
Let's go, boys. What's that
You want to ride, Frank?
Fighting right here at all.
You want to ride, Frank?
Good luck, brother. You know, just a lot of them. Full-point landing, Fred.
A lot of boats out today, huh?
I'll tell you what, that's about as far as I've ever had to park the van from the landing. We're almost, I guess, about 2 city blocks away from the landing, just for parking purposes. I hope everybody's right. If everybody's right, you might have something smelly on your camera.
That's right. We hope so. Huh, Rodney? You okay?
Yeah, just watching the traffic.
That's right. We're in rush hour today, Rodney. What's that, a grub?
It's a regular trout grub.
Fish on the bottom or the top, Ray?
We're going to try start on the bottom and work our way up.
And they've been catching them like that lately?
Sometimes they'll right on the bottom, and other times they'll work right up to the surface.
You got a spin rod there, huh?
Right, open face. Mitchell 306.
There you go.
5 years old.
On our
hold him at the camera. How about that, Chris? This is what we came here to do.
Bring him
now,
up,
Chris.
brother. Hold him in your hand.
If you don't remember what we came here to do, this is what we came here to do. We came here to put these towels around these fish like this.
That's right.
How about that? Now that's what makes it worth it all.
How big?
Oh, he's about a 2.5 pounder.
Cigar ratio.
That's a white trout.
White trout.
I'll get him loose for you.
He's loose.
What is he, Rodney?
He's a white trout.
He
And he's
was.
catch and release. Catch and release. That's our.
All right, ratio. Where's he at? Whoa, cross that and hung into a man.
Right there, right there.
This is that thing sing.
He got off. No, no, he ain't on. No, he ain't on. All right.
Hey, what's on you now? I got a man. There he is out there. You see him?
Open up, Frank.
Move out of the way, Captain.
Get blood all over.
Show you when you need that map. See him?
Beautiful fish.
Nice fish.
Let me get the net. Taking some drag on him. Bring him around.
Well, David, I know all of our viewers enjoyed the saltwater trip with Rodney Mayu and Chris Berzai and Frank and Rayford, but Chris was a guide on that trip.
He sure was. I tell you, he knows how to work that camera.
He does, doesn't he? He really does. So, okay, we appreciate Chris doing that for us, and now we're going to go on to Dave's Gun Shop and show our viewers a little bit. Dave's Gun Shop is a recently opened up gun shop under new management, Scotty Pete, and they do all kind of stuff over there. We want to show you all that. We're going to come on back and maybe have some little extra stuff here for them.
Okay, let's go to Dave's.
Dave with Scotty Pete, and Scotty's the new owner of Dave's Gun Shop and a new location.
Yeah, Bon, we moved off of Landry Street down to Vine Street. Got a little bit better parking, a little bit bigger building, and seems to be working out pretty good.
You know, I was noticing when we first got here a while ago that you have a number of new weapons that you are handling here, and dove season is already here, and we want to remind our viewers that they can come by and they can get their hunting license, they can get
Hunting, fishing license, we got some of the best prices on shells.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
We got new guns coming in daily, new and used.
Right.
And it's hard to say what I'll have in tomorrow, you know, it's just day by day.
You know, also you have a sale going on your clothes also. I just looked at that.
All my clothes are on sale. I'm gonna only stock hunting vest and maybe a couple overalls. I have a bunch of clothes in stock that I'm trying to move all that out.
So you got a sale going on?
Got a good sale going on.
Anybody who watches this show gets a discount.
That's right. You come in, you tell me you saw it on Buying Show, and you get a discount.
All right, that sounds great. Tell us about what kind of guns that you do handle here, Scotty. I know you have new and used shotguns.
I basically deal in new and used. I got Remington 1100s. I got the Browning Auto 5s. Nice Remington 870 pumps. I got some Winchester pumps. Good 22s. I got Browning, Winchester, and Ruger rifles.
In other words, anybody needs anything, they can come by here and get fixed up, right?
Got it covered.
Great. And you also have the pistols, and I mean,
full line of pistols.
That is super. Yeah, we're with David Fontenot today. David, I was looking at that Browning right there. It's parkerized, I see.
Right, Bon. That's actually what it is. A matte black. It's a matte black finish. It's basically the same thing as parkerizing. Parkerizing is a different process where they put a seal on top of the metal. It's a bead blast finish. You know, it gives it that textured look. It's more impervious to the elements.
Right.
You know.
You know, I have my gun that you did for it, and it came out beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, what else? I mean, y'all completely refinished the stocks and also the finish on the guns.
Sure. We do.
And you do the repairing of the guns also.
Correct. We do the wood. As far as the finishing goes, all the metal finishing, the woodwork, We install tube chokes, just about anything, Byron. Things that we can't do, we'll let the customer know, and we have people that we sub some work out to.
Right.
Like real machine jobs where we need machine work done. And we always let our customers know exactly what we're going to do. And we keep it professional.
Right, I know that. David, I know it's a good idea every year. I've stressed to our viewers a number of times during the year, it's a good idea to have your gun cleaned once a year.
Now's the time, Byron. Now's the time. Hunting season's right upon us, and I've been getting a lot of clean jobs in, and it's a point to stress to the hunters, and they go out dove hunting, bird hunting, whatever they're hunting. If you don't maintain your firearm, it's not going to function properly. The thing to do is to get it in, get it clean. We go through a 10-point checklist on it. We check everything in the gun. After it's clean, we test fire it, make sure everything's functioning.
Right.
We check for worn parts, springs, extractors, whatever it is, barrel seals. And we get that gun in A1 shape so when they go out, they won't have a spoiled hunt.
Yeah, that's true. Because I tell you what, there's nothing worse than going out on a good dove hunt and having your gun break on you.
Or jamming up,
or jamming up or whatever, you know?
Right. From simple neglect, it can happen.
It's true. And also, y'all, a while ago we were in the front there talking to Scotty about y'all have new and used guns over here.
Right. We have some real good used firearms, shotguns and rifles, deer rifles. They're all in A1 shape because we've gone through all of them, checked them out. Somebody buys a used shotgun from us, we back it up. If they take it out and they have a problem with it, they bring it back in, and we'll service the gun and make it work proper for them.
Well, that's great. David, let's pick up that little 28 gauge you had a while ago. Where is it?
It's this one right here.
I tell you what, you talk about a pretty little gun for a youngster starting off.
Yeah, it sure is. That's a fine little gun.
That's a Remington?
That's a little Remington H70 Express. It's got a matte finish, factory matte job, and it's a new gun. And for a youngster starting out, this is a gun.
Right. You know, David, that's a 28 gauge right there.
Correct.
You know, a while back we were talking about, briefly, about a number of, what to start a kid off with. And I recommended a 20 gauge to start off with a modified choke. A lot of people like to start their youngsters off with a 410.
Right. A 410.
It's kind of small though.
It is kind of small. You gotta kind of that you play that by ear. You know, some children are stronger than others. When the boys are ready to start shooting, I always recommend the father start him off with a 22 rifle. Take him out on the range and let him shoot some cans, some paper. That's the best way to get him accustomed to it. Maybe graduate him to a 410. And then you have other youngsters, 12 and older.
Start them off with a 20.
They can handle a 20 gauge.
Right.
It depends on the child, the child. I mean, I've seen some daddies start their kids with too big of a gun, and they become gun shy with it. They flinch when they shoot. And, they kind of don't want to take part in it.
Right.
You have to start them out slow.
And I know also over here, I know you want to stress to all the viewers about hunter safety with hunting season right here.
That's very, very important. I think every daddy that's going to start their son out hunting needs to hit the hunter safety course, which is put out by the Wildlife and Fisheries. They have certified instructors. It's a little course you go through, teaches you hunter safety, what to look for. You look at films. It identifies the hunters in the woods versus the game. They have a couple of scenes where there's a deer running, but there's a hunter beyond the target. That's very, very important. Loaded guns.
Yeah.
That's very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. But if you go through a course and you stress the safety of a firearm, it's less likely to have an accident.
Well, good.
It's very, very important, especially with youngsters starting out.
That's true.
It's a tool, and if it's not used properly, somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, listen, we appreciate the hospitality over here. I want you to know that. And y'all are located right here on Vine Street?
That's correct. Right next to the old Budweiser plant.
Right. So we want to tell all our viewers to come on out and check the new place out. And, of course, if they have any questions about their rifles or shotguns or
we'll be glad to help.
Shells or get somebody started off, they can come over here, and I know y'all be happy to help anybody.
Be glad to help them, Byron.
Well, David, thank you a lot, and we appreciate it, and the best of luck to y'all over here. And hope we have a good dove season. I'm looking forward to making a good dove hunt with you this year.
I'm ready.
Okay, thank you. Here we are today at Mark Carey's at Carey's Sporting Good here in Ville Platte, and we have bow season fixing to start, and I gave Mark a call, and of course Mark is one of our sponsors here on the Acadiana Outdoor Show, and I wanted him to explain something to the bow hunters about bows, on how to get rigged up and everything. And Mark, I appreciate you coming on this week.
Sure, Vaughn. Glad to be here.
Tell us something about, I know a number of our viewers want to start bow hunting this year, and bow hunting season is right around the corner, and I was noticing up here a while ago at all the number of bows that you have up here. What brands do y'all handle?
We specialize in high country and Hoyt bows. That's our two main lines that we carry.
Okay.
We push high country a lot. That's our finest line. That's about the best bow in the market today. We push a lot of high country. This is top of the line that high country makes right here. It's called the Ultra Extreme. Real compact, lightweight bow. You can feel it. It's super lightweight.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
A real fast shooting little bow.
Yeah.
Very accurate little bow.
Now, how many pounds? Does it go by pounds?
It goes by pounds. This one goes up to 85 pounds. It's sit on 80 pounds right now.
Oh, okay.
That's my personal bow. It's my little hunting bow.
Well, that's pretty. It
Yeah,
really
you
is.
can get, they vary from different poundages, you know, because
Yeah.
you have some kids that want to shoot a bow that can only pull 50, 60 pounds.
I see.
Like a lady too. But this one goes up to 85, and it's set on 80. It's a very, very good shooting little bow.
All right, now let's go through some of the.
Yeah, that's what I'm fixing to do for you.
All right.
Take my arm guard off right here. Give you a few hunting tips that some of y'all might not think about too much. I bet y'all fired up. I surely am. I'm ready to get out there and shoot some deer. That's
I know,
for sure.
everybody's ready to go.
I know a lot of you guys that come in here a week before the season and say, hey, I need a pack of broadheads. It's time for me to start shooting my broadheads. I'm going to go out there and do it. That's not the best way to do it. I've been shooting broadheads already, starting to practice, because they will fly a little bit different than the field points.
And this is a broadhead right here.
That's a Thunderhead 125, probably the #1 broadhead on the market today. I like them a lot. They got the strong chisel point, bevel shaft for extra strength. They got stainless steel blades, super sharp blades, very accurate broadhead. It flies as true as a field point.
Is that right?
Right like a field point. Now some people just screw on their broadheads and shoot them through styrofoam a few times and get them to shoot halfway good and say, well, let's get out there and go. Well, don't want to do that. A broadhead will dull so quickly, shot one time in styrofoam, that you could lose a deer. You need to have these things razor sharp.
I see, okay.
If you're going to practice with these things, which I recommend doing, you want to buy you an extra pack of blades. Practice with your old blades. When it's time to go hunting, pull the old blades on. Day before yesterday, they aren't exactly right. But as you can see, if you look down the shaft, those 3 blades are lined up with those 3 things. That's for extra stability in flight. Then you want to spin them and get them to spin real true. This one here is a little off balance. So what you'd want to do in this case, the reason it's off balance is that there's more glue on one side of this insert than the other. So I would heat up this insert and spin it a few times, get that glue equally flowing around that insert to make it spin true. Like I said, I just put these things together. Now, see this one here?
Boy, look at that.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Right.
You wouldn't want to touch that. Now, I would take this one, put it off the side, keep on going through my quiver and spin them all until I get them all to spin like this before I go out hunting with them. That's for best accuracy as far as that goes. As far as arrows go, some like aluminum, some like carbon. This is the first year I'm trying carbon. I like the way they perform.
Really?
Aluminum's hard to beat. I got many deer killed with aluminum, but I'm gonna give carbon a try.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna give
And
it
you
a
have
try.
these in stock?
Yeah, we specialize in carbon arrows.
Okay.
We're one of the only ones in the South that have a big selection of carbon arrows.
Is that right?
In the South, right. A lot of bad talk out there about carbon arrows, but the people that started that is the guys that make aluminum arrows.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they're gonna say, but they are very good arrows, very fast, very strong.
That's good. Now, all right, let's go on to something else on your bow here, Mark. Explain, and this is your case that you carry your arrows on.
Correct. This is a quiver.
All right.
This is a quiver. This is for protection for you, not to get cut up. You don't want to carry your arrows and broadheads.
All right.
Get a
Yeah,
good quiver.
is that your balance?
This is a stabilizer. When I hold this bow with my hand open, the bow stays perfectly level. If I would unscrew this thing, which I will, just to show you, I'll unscrew it and take it off and hold the bow. See how it's got balance?
Right.
It just gives me a balancer to keep the bow very stable.
Okay.
A few things that I have on my bow is I have an overdraw. Overdraw really is just a arrow rest extender. It just extends the arrow rest further back. So instead of my broadhead stopping here, I can go back to here now.
I see.
It lets me shoot a shorter, lighter arrow. Okay? If you notice, I have my riser lined with some leather. What that does is, while I'm in my tree stand with my arrow on,
Steady so you can get a good shot.
if I happen, let me get on this side.
All right.
If I happen to, my arrow happens to fall off the bow, the rest, it won't make any noise. It's
okay.
quiet.
I
See how it makes noise right here? Well, all my sight and all my risers coated with this leather to keep it quiet. Also, I have what they call heat shrink on my arrow rest. It's what it is. It's like a straw material that you put over the two little prongs and you heat it up with a lighter, and this stuff just shrinks to the metal. Therefore, when I pull the arrow back, it doesn't make this metal-to-metal contact or carbon-to-metal noise. This plastic here quietens down the noise. A few other things that I have, which most people know, is what's called spider legs. This is to take the twang out of the string. If I pull back and shoot the bow without this, it would ding, make a little tiny vibration noise. This just deadens the sound. It just brings the sound to a halt. This is a peep sight. This works like a rear sight on a rifle. I'm sure most of you are familiar with a peep sight. This is a kisser button. What this allows me to do is to draw back and anchor at the same point every time.
I see.
There's no ifs, ands, and buts. On a high-powered bow like this, if you anchor 1 inch off, high or low, at 20 yards, you might be 6 to 8 inches off. So this just brings me back to that same place.
Point.
That's something when I'm nervous and that deer's right there, that's something I don't have to worry about. My anchor point. I just bring this thing right here, and everything else is going to work for me. My sights are PSC 106 sights.
Okay, let's show our viewers these sights real steady here so that they can see how this works. Okay, explain to
This is
us.
PSC 106. I like them. I think they're probably the strongest sight on the market. It's got a removable, you can unscrew this screw right here, which I have to push tight. It's a removable sight. It's got stainless steel pins in it. It's got a real heavy-duty pin guard. You don't have to worry about dropping the bow and bending the pins, which is a big problem in archery. People let their bow down too fast or three-wheeler accident and bend all their pins and they got to go home. This is a very sturdy sight. One thing I got to give PSC, they make good accessories. Very, very sturdy sight. My quiver is also a PSC quiver. It's a removable quiver. It simply just slides on like so. You lock it down like so. And what I like to do is on my tree stands, I have the same bracket that I have on my bow on all my tree stands. So once I get up in the tree, I pull my bow up. First thing I do is unscrew this, take my quiver off, and hook it onto my stand. That way my bow is lighter. It'll make a lot less noise shooting the bow without the quiver, and I can move around a lot easier, and I can sit down and place it on my laps without having all these arrows to worry about.
Right.
So I like that a lot.
That's great. Okay, Mark, I know we talked about the sophisticated bow. What about a guy that just comes out and starts his bow season's in 2 weeks from now, and he just wants to get started, and when they come over here, you can set them up with a bow to start off with and show them how to do it and everything else. Let's look at a startup bow.
There's something a lot simpler than what I just showed you. This is a little bow made by Hoyt. Good little bow. It's called the Raider. It comes as a package, just like this. It comes with the sights, very easy adjustable, learn how-to sights. It comes with a nice little quiver mounted directly onto the bow, good little quiver. And it comes with the basic type arrow rest. Nothing fancy, but all a man needs to get out there. He's looking to save a few dollars.
Right.
This is all a man needs. You can get into a bow like this just for over $200.
Is that right?
The whole bow. Plus arrows and everything, maybe $250 with your taxes, and you out there hunting. You know?
And then also I saw a while ago that you not only that you can get them about a month.
Sure, we finance over here. You can pay so much.
$30 for a month.
Barn comes in here, he says, $43 for that bow. I said, no, buddy, that's a month.
You know, Nikki and Felice came over here and they each bought a bow from you, and they're really pleased about it because they don't do that much bow hunting, but they I know you set them up.
Well,
great.
what we like to do, we like to specialize to our customers. Instead of handling 10, 20 different bow lines, we handle 2. And we handle all the parts, all the accessories made by those 2 companies. If I had to have 10 bows up here, 10 different name bows, which I could get, I can't keep in contact with all those distributors and all those people to satisfy my customers. Like High Country, I must have no telling how many parts for them. I can get you fixed up right away. Hoyt, same thing.
So you have everything here for a bow hunter?
Correct, everything.
And
you
also
need.
you have I know a number of our deer hunters always have, you know, you also have
tree stands?
Tree stands.
Large selection of tree stands.
I was looking at that.
Before we get off of bows, I'd like to show one
All
more
right.
thing. With the new law today, handicapped people can use a crossbow. Therefore, anybody over 60 years old can also use a crossbow. We are one of the largest crossbow retailers in the state of Louisiana.
Is that right?
Oh, yes. We are very, very large in crossbows. And we have all the parts for them. We know how to tear them down and put them back together. We specialize in this. We have an indoor range and an outdoor range to take a person over 60 that doesn't think he can shoot one of these and show him just how easy this is to use. There is nothing to this, you know. You can get a lot of guys that are 70, 78 years old, come here, buy arrows, and have just as much fun out there with me with his crossbow. Something that he could never do before and never experience hunting in October for deer. They out there now with these crossbows.
Isn't this something? And it has a safety on it?
It's got a safety. It's got a 150-pound pull. It's made by Harden. Got a little Bushnell 4-power scope.
All right.
Deer on his butt.
Show me how. Can you do it without an arrow?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You simply just place your foot in here like so. Make sure the gun's on fire. When you pull it back, it automatically goes to safety. You put your shoulder here so you don't use too much of your back muscles to hurt your back. Grab it on each side. You're ready to go.
Isn't that something?
As deadly as a 30-06 right here.
Now, what's the range on this?
Well, the accuracy range on a crossbow could go up to 50, 60 yards. But I don't recommend anybody shooting over 20, 30 yards because of the fact a crossbow makes so much noise. You're storing 150 pounds of energy in this little short stroke mechanism. So Horton being by far the most quietest crossbow in the market, it's still noisy. Noisier than a compound bow. Therefore, if you try to shoot a deer at 40, 50 yards with this, you ain't gonna get it. You're just gonna dug the arrow.
So you need 25, 30 yards of good shot.
I recommend a crossbow shooter shoot the same distance or less than a compound bow shooter. 25 yards, something like that.
Yeah. Mark, I tell you what, you have so much stuff in this store. I know we came over here primarily to talk about, to show our viewers about bows, about the accessories you have for them and all this type of stuff, but I tell you what, you have so much stuff in this store. I just want to take a tour of the store.
Sure, I'd like to. Let's do that.
Let's go.
Okay, let's look, while we're right here, let's look at the tree stands.
All right.
Here's a couple of models of some.
All right, Mark, what you got there?
This is a new product made by Wayne Frazier in Mamu. It's called Speed Steps. Myself as a bow hunter and a lot of friends of mine realize that the best way to bow hunt a lot of times is in a hanging stand. Not like a 30-06 or high-powered rifle. You can't get 100 yards from that deer trail and still be successful. You got to get 20 yards from that deer trail, and not all the times is there a tree available where you can use a climbing stand. That's where the hang-on stand comes in handy. Now, most of you are familiar with the screw-in steps, which is very hard to use. It takes forever to get up there. Now they have the strap-on steps, which is a little easier to use, but still not nearly as fast as this. I'd like to demonstrate this here. This is Wayne hang-on stand too. And the way this works, you just simply put it up against the tree. Look at the slack here. Wrap this strap around the tree, hook it, take up your slack. Add this little bit there you go. Take up your slack and simply just pull down on it. Now I'm ready to go. I already have my steps on it.
Isn't that neat?
Now if I had my rope tied to me, let me get you to give me that stand, please. Naturally, I have my safety belt
This
on.
thing's light, isn't it?
Right.
I thought the thing would have been
Oh,
heavy.
no. Now, normally it would be a lot higher than this. We'd use probably 2 or 3 of these steps to get out the height that we like. What we do from here is simply just, let me put it below here. Wrap this strap here, and we would have our safety belt on now, people.
Oh, that's right. About a safety belt anytime you get up in a tree.
Tighten that up, get up here, lock the stand in, and I'm already hunting. Got a nice swivel seat on there where you can draw back, make any kind of movement you want to. It's adjustable. You can adjust the seat height on it. You can fold it up and get against the tree if you have to.
Yeah.
It's a nice setup he's making. With
It
the
really
speed
is.
step, this little step right here is so neat. You can get approximately 14 to 16 foot high with two of them, and from start to finish, be hunting in about a minute and a half.
Is that right?
Yeah, because you can imagine.
That's amazing.
You can imagine I'd have the second step
Oh, yeah,
up.
I
I'd be
know.
pulling the stand up on that.
Now this is old conventional regular.
No, this is one of Wayne Prejean's climbing stands. It's the one that I had on the pole before we took it down. It simply has the bottom part and the top part where you sit down and climb with it.
Right.
Works well. Then we got
Good.
some about Cougar Claw. This one of our more popular climbing stands. You mount the bottom part to the tree and you climb with your hand climber here.
Yeah, that's your two-piece job?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Very comfortable. As you can see, the seat is real comfortable. Then this padded bar can be used as a gun rest or a safety bar.
Like that.
It folds up and down, like so.
That's great. All right, now what else a bow hunter needs besides a tree stand?
Well, we
his
got
bow arrows.
large selection of broadheads. You know,
Okay.
broadheads and sights. Different people like different things. You know, I might recommend a few things, and they might want something else. So we carry Muzzy, Vortex, PSC, Thunderhedge, Trilock. We have them all.
Well, that's
You know,
great. That's
just about
great.
any kind you'd want, we have it. We have our mechanic shop right here where we do.
Yeah, let's walk over here.
Okay. We have our bow press here, where we can change strings, change limbs. Here's one here that we are putting a whole new harness system on. It's just different things that we do. We have all the parts for these bows. We can work on them. This guy with his broadhead popped the string, so we're changing his string. This one here is blew a harness system.
So if anybody has any problems with it, bows can come in and get fixed
Sure,
anyway.
sure. We also fletch arrows. We can do any type of custom fletching that anybody needs. We specialize in this department.
Yeah.
You know,
That's great, and you know, you're probably the only one in this area that specializes in so much of a wide variety of bows,
crossbows.
Right, all that type of stuff. So we want to.
This is my used bow rack. We have a lot of used
really?
bows. Oh yeah, we do a lot with used bows also.
They all look brand new.
Some of them are. You know, there's so many new bows coming out every year. The guy that's trying to keep up with the game has to basically trade every year, every other year, because there's always something new and high tech coming out.
Well, great. Mark, I was noticing a few minutes ago, you know, Mossy Oak is one of our sponsors on the show, and I noticed that you have a bunch of Mossy Oak clothes back there.
Sure. I got some T-shirts and stuff here, but also. We stock just about everything that Mossy Oak has to offer. This is my favorite piece to hunting. It's an uninsulated coverall.
Oh, okay.
You get to the camp, slip it over your good clothes, get off from hunting. I gotta be work for 10 o'clock. Just unzip it. Might be dirty. Take it off. Got my clean clothes on again. It's very nice for the October, November hunting season.
Right.
It's not too cold. Then moving on down, we have the insulated bibs by Mossy Oak. It's not the full coverall. It's just the bib top. Then coming down a little further, we have the insulated coverall. Totally
I
insulated.
tell you what, this winter, that would come in handy, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
it does.
Sit on a deer stand as cold as it gets up there?
It does. We have the little safari hats.
Yeah.
Keep a supply of those.
You got everything with Mossy Oak.
Oh yeah. We have the smaller jackets. Something that, you know, November weather. Let's see what else we have here. We have a bomber type jacket.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Nice. If I known you were coming to camouflage, I moved all these boxes. We got full of stuff coming in.
Is that right?
And coming back here, we have the real nice dress shirt type shirts in Mossy Oak. We have it in polar fleece. It's soft material.
Yeah.
And then we have the rugged, real thick type long
Talk
sleeve
about.
shirt.
You know, we use Mossy Oak on all of our, whenever we're out hunting, because I tell you what, it's the camouflage. You can really get close to the game, and it's just a good camouflage.
It's by far the best camouflage out
Yeah.
there. You have a lot of people in the market trying to imitate it today, but you can't beat it.
No, and you know, it's just good, and you know, you might pay a little bit more than you're gonna pay at one of these Walmarts or whatever,
But on the other hand, this is going to last you 10 years, where the other's going to last you a year.
And take like your shirt, that's probably an old shirt.
Oh, yeah, that's an old one.
It hardly faded at all.
I know. And it'll blend right in.
Right. Another thing we specialize in is lacrosse rubber boots. I'd like to take
really?
you into my warehouse
Okay.
and show you that.
All right, what you got, Mark? I see all you little
This whole entire rack right here is all lacrosse boots. We have anything from the little low quarter boots.
Right.
We have the uninsulated knee boots. We have the archer boots. We have the insulated knee boots, the regular hip boots, insulated hip boots, hip waders, non-insulated, insulated. We have just about everything. Here's one of our most popular sellers right here. This is a insulated lacrosse rubber boot.
And that's insulated.
It's insulated.
Let me show. Come right here, Mark, for a second. I know Nicky had bought a pair of insulated lacrosse boots, and he was telling me how warm they are compared to a regular pair.
Right.
And I mean, he really likes them.
I used to have these $100-something Browning lace-up boots. Well, there's a few problems with that. You can't walk in the water like we have down here in Louisiana. You need a knee boot for down here. And I'll give you my word, this boot, which is a $60 boot, versus that $125 Browning, I find this to be a warmer boot.
Yeah.
What type of insulation they use, I don't know, but it's a great
That's what
insulation.
I heard. So,
Real good boot.
Well, listen, we appreciate you showing us all this back here.
Sure.
And we're going to go back up in the front. I think Blake Bidry is going to come by with a...
Yeah, he wants to show off his new product. It's CDL. Super product.
Really?
Oh, I've been selling a few bags, and people have been getting great response from it.
Okay, Blake, this is Blake Vidrine from Ville Platte, and Blake, I know you came out with this new product.
Okay, Cajun Deer Lick has the ability to attract deer from a visual attractant, from a scent attractant, taste attractant, and it also has a pH attractant. The way that it's applied, you will scrape out an area about 4 foot in diameter, and you apply the entire content of CDL in one pile, level it off to about 1.5 inches.
You dig a hole?
No, sir, on the ground.
On the ground?
On the ground.
Okay.
No water involved, no digging involved. As little effort and work as possible, which all hunters are like that, you know?
Right.
So you just put it in a pile about 1.5 inches thick, and it'll cover an area, let's say about 1.5 foot in diameter.
Okay.
And you just back off, you look at it, and you say, deer, come get you some.
That's it.
Mother Nature in the morning is gonna put a little bit of dew on it and make this fine powder kind of congeal and seal. Then the first good rain comes on it, it's gonna penetrate the crust, go into it, and make it a semi-solid cornbread mass.
Okay.
Okay? The deer come around, they see this white powder, and they're curious. Like, you know, all animals are, but especially deer. So they come over, and it has a scent attractant. They check it out, they'll sniff on it, they'll lick it, they'll start pawing on it, and before you know it, you have yourself a hole in the ground about 6 inches by 2.5 feet.
Okay. Now, Blake, I know you've just started manufacturing that this year.
That's correct. We started distributing this
And I
year.
know Carriers has it over here, right, Mark?
Yeah, I have over 200 bags of stock. I got plenty.
Is that right?
We've been selling quite a bit of it, and I have some customers that have bought some, put some out, came back and bought more bags because the deer are already tearing it up in a 3-day period, already hitting this stuff.
Is that right?
Right.
Now, Blake, what do you recommend when to put it out?
Okay. Bow hunters, the time is right now.
Yeah.
You want to put it out, and in some areas it may take as long as a week. On the package we have 2 weeks or less. But I've found from my own personal experience and the individuals in this area who I have constant contact with, 24 hours, 3 days at the most.
Is that right?
They're coming after it.
Well, I tell you what, deer season starting in a couple of weeks from now, and I know all of our viewers are gonna, they can get over here and get it, and you distribute it statewide?
That's correct, yes, sir.
All over.
And Mark's doing a real fine job over here at Carrier Sporting Good, and he's distributing it for us. He's shipping out to New Orleans, Lake
Just give me a
Charles.
call. I'll ship it anywhere you might need it.
That's great. And it's doing a fine job. Again, it's a non-salt containing product, which salt, as you know, as most hunters know, is real good salt and minerals in the spring and in the summer. Come the late summer, fall, and the winter time, the deer have no need for salt. Okay, that's where this product kicks in from now through deer season. You need no water to mix with it. You don't have to lug any big container of water in the woods and everything. It will, because of the way it's applied, last 2 to 3 months. Again, I'd like to tell everyone not to apply it going like any other product. Not to apply it going down a hill where the water will rush over it. Not to apply it in a bottom where the water is going to come up and run over it. See, if you apply it correctly, it will last you 2 to 3 months. It does at Mustang.
Well, great. I tell you what, we're looking forward to trying. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and put some of this out, and we're going to do a show out there with the deer coming to eat this.
Great.
And we're going to show it to our viewers.
Great. And as it rains on it, it leaches into the ground. And the deer come there, and like I said, it's a semi-solid cornbread mass. They start pawing on it, and they'll break it up in fragments, large fragments, which will still stay there, rain, soak into the ground, in the digging. Once you see no more CDL, it's still leaching into the ground and working.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to see a local product being manufactured right here locally in Bill Platt and distributed all over. And of course, it helps the economy out, helps the deer hunters out, helps everybody out.
I'm going to give you a bag to take home with you. I want you
all
to
right,
try
I tell
it
you
out.
what, I'm going to try it, and we're going to watch and see if I kill a deer.
We also have a second product coming out that's going to work right in with the CDL is the Cajun Drip.
Okay.
Which resembles a Pop-Tart package hung from a tree. Has an absorbent pad inside with a scent, these scents, different scents, suspended in a colorless, odorless, tasteless, thick vehicle. Tie it up in the tree, clip the bottom, and it starts a slow drip.
Is that right?
Okay? Yes, sir. We have, right now, we have the Cajun Dough Drip, which the labels are being printed, so next week we should be able to start distributing that. We have the Sweet Drip, combination of 2 tropical oils. Very, very sweet, almost to a human, almost nauseating, carries through the woods, the animals smell it. We have also the Maple Drip, which you can put on your pancakes in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay? You have the Honeysuckle Drip and Passion Fruit Drip. Now
Great.
We testing sweet potato, soybean, persimmon, and banana.
Well, I tell you what, later on during the year, I want to get we're going to go in and look at this.
We'll load you up.
Super. It sounds great.
Right.
And you know, Mark, I appreciate you letting us come over today to Carrier's and showing us all the viewers about bows on how to get started with the deer. And of course, we appreciate Blake coming over today to explain on how to attract them to the hunting spot. So we hope everybody enjoyed this today, and we're just glad to bring it to you on this on hunting deer.
All right.
And of course, we can see now, Blake, did this deer right here come to eat this CDL?
I wish I could say that particular one did. I'll let Mark tell that story.
All right, we'll let Mark tell that story after we cut the camera off.
For the last month and a half, we've been giving a bag a day away of CDL. All you gotta do is come into Carrier's and just put your name in the box. And name of your company?
Cajun Outdoor Products.
Cajun Outdoor Products and Carrier Sporting Goods got together and decided that would be the best way to promote this product. We're gonna pick today's winner out of the box here.
You can get your hand in there.
Yeah, get my big hand in there. And today's winner of a bag of CDL is Ivan Fontenot. So we're gonna give Ivan Fontenot a call and tell him to come pick him up a bag. So we got 2 weeks left.